then guess the second one. The second one is Gene Deal. So this one is a little bit older. Is it this one that's older? No, not this one. It's the next one. All right, cool. So this is Gene Deal. This is Diddy's former bodyguard. One of his former bodyguard, because the next video is also his former bodyguard. So he's talking about Diddy as well. He's talking about pretty much like what he says, pretty much aligns with what Freddie P says as well. So yeah, and listen to. He's also on the Out of Dialogue. Shout out to Out of Dialogue, and yeah.
And it's just this situation, man. When they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bro. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You got to realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's going to make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So again, Gene Deal is also mentioning that, you know, this whole shit that Diddy is doing or was doing, it's learned behavior, you know. The nigga also experienced it. He also had to give up that butt. And I guess his mentors just really fucked him up by what they showed him, what they, you know, how they told him to get power and get influence and get money, all that, you know. They just led him down a path of darkness and pretty much. So also his mentors, then I guess they also, you know, they should also be indicted. Because if I was Diddy, I'd give them up. Like straight up, I'd say, hey man, these niggas I was working with, I was a young boy. They were telling me this is how you get power. This is how you do it. I was impressionable. Blame these guys, you know. Not to say that it's solely on these people, but you know, if the whole class fails the test, you can't blame the students. You got to blame the teacher. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Philly between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that's he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bro, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not going to say allegedly because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster. And that's what it did, bro. It made him into a monster, bro. I personally feel like he got.
And you also got to remember, like, the drugs as well. Like, what he's talking about is correct. The drugs, the drinking, the pills, the ecstasy, the cocaine, you know, whatever it is, these motherfuckers be taking. You know what I mean? Like, that shit also is going to start fucking with your brain. It's going to fuck with your mind. It literally is going to start rearranging your brain to a point where you can't really make rational decisions anymore. You know what I mean? Like, your brain is incapable of making decisions that seem like, you know, it's incapable of distinguishing between what is a good decision and what is a bad decision. You know, it's now led by its craving for dopamine. You know what I mean? So the decision is only, you make the decision only based on your brain wanting dopamine. You know, it's not based on a rational decision. So if your brain wants to fuck, if your brain wants some pills, if your brain wants some alcohol, if your brain wants a feek off, if your brain wants some baby oil, if your brain wants all these stimulants, you just start now reacting to it like that. And it's because of all the drugs and all the stimulants you've taken, now to the point where you're like, you're a fucking dopamine fiend. And once you've reached that stage where, okay, you have sex with one woman, then you have sex with two women. Now, because you've had sex with two women so many times, you can't even have sex with one woman anymore. Now, because you've had sex with two women anymore, now you need to have sex with three women. Now it's like, oh man, I can't have sex with three women. Now you need to have sex with three women and a guy. You know, now it's like, man, now you need to have sex with 5 niggas and 10 girls. You know what I mean? That's how much dopamine your brain needs for you to actually fucking, you know, that's pretty much like, that's how I see it in a scientific way, you know?
A lot of the things that he did from his mentor, and then he probably did it to the 10th power. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he was a drug abuser. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he used to put his hands on women. So it's a learned behavior, bro. Some of that stuff may be in him through his childhood. Through his childhood, he may have some of that things in him, but a lot of things that he was doing was a learned behavior, bro. You just don't just turn it in a matter of years, the way he was doing people, man. You understand? Check this out, bro. He led Biggs to his death.
That's
He
another.
caused a rift between Wolf and BMF that led to Wolf death. Cussed Wolf mother out. Lied about owing him $300,000. Because you had to ask me how I feel, and I'm gonna give it.
You see, so it's not only just the sexual violence and the prostitution and the drugging people. It's also other like actual violence. You know, like this nigga has been involved in. He's been alleged to be involved in Tupac's death. He's been alleged to be involved in even Biggie's death. His own nigga. You know what I mean? He's stolen so many of his artists' royalties. You know what I mean? And he's just like, he's also just been a shitty ass nigga. You know what I mean? I think like people are focusing on the indictments and the specific charges, but it just seems like throughout his career, he's actually just fucked niggas over and really have just done the worst, you know? So it's not only, I'm not saying we shouldn't focus on because those are the actual indictments. All these other things, I guess they alleged, but just seems like the nigga was just not a stand-up dude, you know? So yeah. All right, cool. Shout out to Gene Deal, Out of Dialogue.
Listen.